sides to choose, just truth to speak. We lift the voices they try to keep weak. From indie halls to the bright lit stage. Every fan, every fight, every era, every age. This ain't war, it's a brotherhood, a safe space for all, like it always should. No gatekeeping, no divide. We stand together with pride worldwide. This is for the dreamers, rebels and crew, for the fans in the back and the diehards too. Break the chains, let the passion ring. We're calling out hate in the squared off ring. Kicking out at two, where the love runs deep and the fight stays true. Kicking out at two, no tribal lines, just respect me and you. Where the love runs deep and the fight stays true. No tribal lines, just respect me and you. This is for the dreamers, rebels and crew, for the fans in the back and the diehards too. Break the chains, let the passion ring. We're calling out hate in the squared off ring. Kicking out at two, where the love runs deep and the fight stays true. Kicking out. And together with pride worldwide. This is for the dreamers, rebels and crew, for the fans in the back and the diehards too. Break the chains, let the passion ring. We're calling out hate in the squared off ring. Kicking out at two, where the love runs deep and the fight stays true. Kicking out at two, no tribal lines, just respect me and you.
Species, days, and all those who slay. We are going bell to bell through the week's biggest news, craziest turns, and all the spots that made you jump out of your couch. Welcome to Kicking Out 2. I'm Michael, and with me is the Sultan of Storytelling, the Enforcer of Energy, and the Empress of Enthusiasm, Tori. Hey, Tori.
Those are pretty good. Those are pretty good.
That was a pretty good one. Tonight's episode is going to be a little, I'm assuming that's the Sonic Cup. There we go.
Hit us up, Sonic.
Sonic, by God. What you got there tonight?
Cherry Coke Zero.
That's always a good call. I'll do that, and I'll put extra cherries in it.
I have been I've had some regular drinks since I started drinking zeros, and it's so sweet I almost can't do it.
It's a preferred now. Literally, it's cherry Pepsi Zero in my house,
Right.
or the Coke Zeros. Every once in a while, I'll do a Dr. Pepper Zero. People say that's the closest one that tastes the real thing, and it doesn't to me. Like, it's good. It's just it doesn't taste like a Dr. Pepper. I can't do it. But anyway,
I'm playing with camera settings too.
that's
You're
okay.
good.
All right. So tonight's episode is going to be a little different, mainly because we had 2 pay-per-views over this past weekend. And so doing a 3 count just kind of seemed, there's a lot that happened, so it just seemed like it was better if we just talk about what happened at the pay-per-view. Also, we've got our wonderful trip to St. Louis coming up this weekend, where we're going to be at AEW Wrestle Dream Live.
So excited about that.
Going to try to A, have some
Just
fun,
finished-
and B, try to get
Just
as
finished
much.
charging up my microphones.
There you go. I got mine to put on the chargers tonight.
We're totally gonna I have a mount for in the car
Mhm.
that I haven't even installed yet, and I'll probably do tomorrow, or that I'm gonna bring with me.
I got one of those
And-
fancy TikTok ones where it's like you
Yeah.
suction. Yeah, those.
So-
I've got one too. I'll throw one on my side too.
I haven't tried this on my actual phone yet. I guess I should do that. Oh shit!
Yeah, as long as you got the MagSafe stuff,
Okay.
it sticks pretty good to it. And the
Okay.
suction cup on them, like, I've had mine up for 4 months now. Hasn't even thought about falling once.
All right. Twitch is not down, Lady Alpha. We're just not doing Twitch on Tuesdays.
Yep.
This is going to be our kind of regular format, is doing it YouTube and X on Tuesdays, and then Twitch and YouTube on Thursdays normally.
So no, on Thursdays it'll be Twitch and X, and we're doing that because of partner and friend of the show, Sped, informed us that sometimes you get kind of, I guess the term is shadow ban nowadays, but basically you don't get promoted as much over on Twitch if you're doing Twitch and YouTube using the same account. So we're going to start backing off one on this, because this is our podcast. This episode never really does well over on Twitch anyway, because it's just us talking. So we're going to start doing this here, start doing that there. As we get some more stuff going that we've got going, we'll put some more stuff on Twitch, because there'll be some more gaming stuff going. Or
we just start gaming more often. I mean, whatever.
Well, that too. That's what I'm saying. Like on the weeks that we're gaming at 8 o'clock, why not just go ahead and pop on Twitch while we're doing it? Anyway, yeah. In fact, actually,
hey, I gotta throw the plug out though, because that may have been the funniest stream I've ever seen in my life earlier.
It certainly was.
Has anyone heard from Autumn? Is she okay?
I saw a picture on X, so I assume that she's okay, that she got off the floor. Lady Alpha, if you could confirm, please, just to make sure she's okay. Also, are you okay? Obviously, like we say that in jest as far as Autumn, but I hope you're okay.
But Autumn, I think, had quite a bit more to drink than Lady Alpha did. But if y'all are not on it already, definitely go check out their podcast. They're a lot of fun. They're both amazing. They're relatively new to the wrestling space, so it's kind of fun learning with them if you don't know a lot.
Well, and so because she kind of put this out there at the beginning of her podcast, I want to go ahead and bring that here as well. I said my little line that I always say, which is wrestling's a buffet, but apparently I'm not surprised.
Well, I'm not either.
Apparently she was getting some flack, people not calling her real fans, her and Autumn. And here's the thing. So hold on. Here's the thing.
I'm sorry. Someone called them not real fans?
Yeah, so
I need to be tagged the next time, because the fuck?
Yeah, you need to be tagged because you're going to be tagging somebody.
Look.
Well, so here's the thing. I said my normal thing, which is here's the it's a buffet and everybody has a seat at the table and that. But here's the bottom line when it comes to their format. Their format's amazing because it is a novice fan, not a non-fan, a novice fan.
Yeah.
Learning more about the business as she goes along.
Yep.
That's an amazing thing to be out there, especially for newer fans themselves. You can learn something new together. It doesn't mean someone's a fake fan or anything like that because they don't watch a certain product or because they don't, I think one of them, like she said that one of them told her because she doesn't have a VPN. Neither do I. And I've been watching this shit since I was 3 years old. So
what a VPN got to do with anything?
Because it's not enough for to watch pay-per-views and watch SmackDowns and watch the Bras and blah, 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 blah. You know what? I watch all of them anyway. Okay. Very well done, Lady Alpha.
That kind of shit drives me crazy. That's why we don't get new fans. Or the new fans are scared to say anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's gatekeeping at its highest level right there.
And it's stupid.
But anyway, so as I was saying, tonight we're going to go over the news and go over what's happened there, and then we'll talk about the two pay-per-views. And then we have a very special hot tag tonight from Vinny and Angela over at Suds News.
Oh, nice.
So we're going to watch a little clip of them tonight. So let's go ahead and just get started with the news.
Lady Alpha, if you're still here in the future, if that happens, feel free to tag me, because I got you.
We roll it down.
You have known me a long time. You know there are a few things I play about when it comes to my friends.
That's right.
We will mock you ourselves, but fuck if somebody else is going to.
Well, it's like they were talking about giving me a nickname. I'm like, I'm pretty sure Tori's called me worse than anything you could give me. So we're all right. All right. So for the first story, Speed goes pro and goes WWE. I Show Speed has been at the Performance Center. He's trying to learn the game.
I'm sorry, was that spear at the Rumble not enough to make you never want to do this?
Hey, maybe he's a masochist. I don't know, but no, apparently so. YouTube phenom I Show Speed was spotted at the Performance Center. Right now, it's filming for his show Speed Goes Pro. So it's a show he's doing if he's going to try things in that. However, he has said that the rush he got in that spot was something he really liked. So maybe it's something that'll come in the future. But this is specifically for this first episode, or for this next episode. The first episode of that series hit 5.7 million on YouTube. So obviously he's doing something right that we're not doing. There's no official match plan yet, but sources say that WWE is not ruling out Speed as someone who can step in the ring, especially if he's going to get a little bit of ring awareness on him. There you go.
Props to you. I'm just saying, we got you.
Yep.
Tag a bitch. I'll come get it.
We got you, boo boo.
Give me a reason to be an asshole, please.
Give me a reason to be an asshole.
Because Michael will tell you I'm a really good one.
So the next story, the architect's alignment, the ailment, I'm not able to talk today. It's because of the show earlier. I'm still stutter stepping.
It was that Batman onesie.
That's right. Seth Rollins' rumored injury over at Post Crown Jewel. He hit. I don't know what the move was supposed to be. It was like a flying coast to coast headbutt. Like I don't know what he was trying to hit, but he landed awkwardly on his arm. So they're thinking something might have happened to his arm. And then, we kind of found out.
Rotator.
Yeah. And we
I hope not.
I hope not too. I hope he's okay. I hope he's fine. I hope he doesn't have to have surgery again. I've already seen some people posting that, karma's a bitch because he got us with the fake injury and then turns around and gets injured. Not funny.
Don't do that man like that.
But kind of funny.
It is kind of funny.
Hey,
Stampede,
Stampede,
did you recover
welcome
from the stream earlier too? Because we're still kind of stuttering.
Yeah. That's right. Showing off the pipes. I'm actually thinking about doing that more on my personal TikTok, to be quite honest.
Doing what?
I'm doing some singing. I was singing in the car the other day, and I haven't sung in a long time. And that was my half profession when I was getting out of college. So it was kind of fun to do it.
Weren't you in choir?
I was in a lot of things. But yes, I was
show choir or something.
Yeah, I was in choir both in middle school, high school, and college. Majored in music education and vocal performance. I was gonna
because of this, we have joked that Michael is the gayest straight man we've ever met.
Well, and that also revolves around the first time.
One of them will remember it.
My first wife, when she met me, she thought I was gay because I had blonde tips in my hair and I wore silky shirts.
The tips, didn't you?
I did have the tips and I had silky shirts and I always wore slacks. And
that was the Rock, though. The silky shirts and the slacks was the Rock.
Heck yeah. Had the chains and the rings and stuff too. I was on it. I was hot stuff back in the day. Now I'm just stuff. But anyway, backstage reports he finished the match despite having the injury. Stayed in Australia so he could do his promos and his segments. Huge respect from the locker room for him doing that. If it is an arm break, we're talking about him being out maybe till December. If it's a shoulder injury, it could be something worse. The speculation is that they might have found something worse than there already because we already saw that there was a huge pivot. I know Triple H hates that word, but there was a huge pivot on Monday.
Wasn't quite a bolo tie, but
So a little bit of Michael lore. Michael did used to wear bolo ties back in the day. That's when Michael realized at the time he had a butt, because I changed to doing Western wear, and when the moment I put on Wranglers, I got comments.
He tried to do that running slide people's elbow, but he fell, and that's how he hurt his knee. So
No,
it's a better story. Let's go with it.
No, I was a knee drop in the concrete like Ric Flair.
Like Ric Flair.
Just I didn't throw my jacket down first. That was the problem. I should have thrown the jacket down. Knee dropped the jacket. I missed. It happens. But there were creative implications, it seems, because the next night on Raw, we saw Braun Breaker turn on Seth, and then in turn, the rest of Vision also turning on him. So it seems to be there was a sudden change of direction, because that did seem very out of nowhere. We did expect at some point Braun was probably going to turn on him, but it was going to be one of those like Batista back in the day with Evolution thing, where it's a gradual, and then he turns on him.
This was quick.
This was just bam, it happened. So
this whole group was a 2-pump jump. It was really quick.
Yeah. Yeah. So apparently the Vision was very short-sighted. I think Stampede made that joke. So if you did Stampede, I want to give you the props for that one, because that was a very good one when I saw it. Cuts from the system. There was an NXT shakeup here recently, so we had release names. I'm going to go in the order and leave the big one for the last that I had a problem with. Jamar Hampton, BJ Ray, Summer Sorrell, Hayes Jameson, Draco Knox, Jen Talia, Lance Anoa'i, who I think he never even got a match. I think he literally got signed. And then, anyway, Stevie Turner. And the one that surprised me is Wes Lee.
Okay, so Punk Moxley thing?
They do the Punk Moxley thing.
Yeah,
I need you to explain that a little bit more. What specifically Punk Moxley thing?
So most of those people, I'd heard of Jen Tala, hadn't seen her, don't know anything about her. Wesley shocked. Stevie Turner surprised me. With what they've had her doing, that really surprised me. So Wesley was shocking. Just shocking. Because they had him with those two dudes as a tag team and all. I mean, he's going to show back up, because there's not a chance he's not going to go right back to TNA.
Right, and get back with the Rascals.
Right.
They even made reference to it. They sent a tweet out. I think it was Zachary Wentz sent it out, saying, like, you always have a spot in the treehouse.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. All right. I mean, maybe.
I was really confused for a minute.
Because, I mean, Braun could hit a spear right off the bat, get him squashed real quick, get him out, and then he gets to go feeling better or whatever he needs to do. BJ also surprised me. I know you didn't watch LFG. I watched that both seasons, beginning to end. And just, it seemed like they were putting a lot of effort into BJ during LFG. So for them not to have him on the payroll seems weird.
Yeah, I don't.
But Wesley,
I'm not sure where they're headed with this.
Wes was finally getting into his own. That's what I don't understand. Like he wasn't considered a rascal anymore. He wasn't really. He was his own person now.
When he came back after the injury, I thought, okay, he's going to be fine, because he did a complete turn, was a heel, and was really well received. But they just weren't doing anything with him.
Yeah. It was strange. I mean, we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, just they weren't really doing much with him other than him being with the two guys. So maybe that was their thought, is, we're not doing anything with him, let him go. But that's yeah.
That's funny.
As much as that's a joke, yeah. I mean,
It's funny, but it's true
yeah.
too.
So yeah, I mean, they do seem to be kind of trimming the NXT roster a bit. So maybe making some spots open for some new NIL talent, maybe some more international prospects coming in. We'll have to see what
I
happens
get
there.
some of these. I don't see letting Wesley go to sign an NIL talent. It makes no sense
Yeah.
to me. Like
Well,
that would just be crazy.
well, and Jen Tala, like, you said you hadn't seen any of her work. If I remember right, she's also the one that was from LFG, and like she had an
Yes.
amazing look and amazing talent.
Yeah.
And so I'm surprised that they didn't keep her. I enjoyed her more than I enjoy the girl that won the gold medals. I'd rather see her there.
Ooh.
That would be good. That would be good.
Give me
Um,
all of that.
Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston re-signed with WWE. Xavier Woods has a new deal signed, a multi-year extension deal. He finalized in September, keeping him WWE beyond 2025. And in fact, specifically, Kofi Kingston has signed an order. He has a 5-year contract. It'll take him through 2030. So it looks like Kofi's probably going to end his career with WWE. He's already up there, kind of in the age. I don't see him doing his trust falls, 5 years from now. Both originally had matching 2019 contracts, but injuries and negotiations made the renewals kind of complex. The New Day does remain one of the most decorated tag teams. We still have Up, Up, Down, Down, which is kind of looped in there as well, thriving at 2.5 million subscribers, showing WWE's multimedia evolution. So we're going to have the New Day around for a while, which is not a bad thing. It's great to have them there. Even if you keep them as just a backbone piece, like they are right now of the tag team division, it's good to have them there.
That's just it, though. Even if they never touch a title again,
Yeah.
they should. But even if they don't, having the New Day be in a feud with someone, it's going to help that team.
Yeah. I still need Woods to get a singles title. That man needs to get some major world title. You gave one to Jay. Give one to Woods. Let him try.
I agree.
New Day versus Hardy. I mean, they might get the money out to do it. The Dudleys did kind of retire.
Right. Totally off subject. 3 years ago today, Hagrid died.
Oh,
You're welcome.
thanks for bringing it down.
What I'm here for.
So, yeah. So that actually ends it. That's the last of our news. There's not really much going on over this past couple of weeks. So we're gonna go and end that there. Just as a takeaway from the news, who do you think ISO Speed should face?
Vacant.
I mean, they have a lot of titles.
If you're going to do something with him, put him in NXT and put him in the ring with like Lexus King or Ethan Page, somebody that can carry him through.
Yeah.
But isn't going to make him look bad.
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
no, I
they
know.
will, 100%.
And Spike will
And it
be
will
there,
be one
and
of the worst shows ever. I can't.
so will Sign Guy Dudley. So will Dances with Dudley's.
And I know we've talked about it, and we'll get back to it, I'm sure, as we get closer to it. I have watched every WrestleMania in some way or another as an adult since I was 18, which is 31 years ago. I will not watch 27. My streak will end in 2027, and I don't care. I don't feel bad about it.
Saudi beat the streak.
Yeah. And they didn't. Well, no, they probably did sex traffic someone. But that won't work.
Oh shit. I do want to put so this isn't actually written in our news, but I do want to do a little bit of personal news. Over the weekend, Brandon does everything. Brandon Collins, he's a YouTuber. I've been watching him and Vibe and Chris Danker for a long time. He stepped in the ring not too long ago. He's had this big rivalry with AJ Francis. He pinned AJ Francis to win his first title. And
seriously,
just amazing. If you watched Bound for Glory, he was in the Battle Royal. He was the really skinny
I saw
kid.
that. Yeah. He did okay too.
Yeah, he's pretty good. But this is leading up to a great rivalry between him and Chris Danker, who goes by Chris Danger, as his wrestling persona. So after he won the belt, Danger, who has been Brandon's friend for years, turned on him.
I saw that.
Gave him the finisher. Shoved the belt kind of in his face. So I can't wait for that. That's going to be amazing.
Yeah, that's going to be nice.
Those two guys have been around each other forever. They train together. So you know that match is going to be amazing when it happens. And Danger might get his first win. Danger's faced big contenders his entire career. People like...
he doesn't have a win?
As far as I'm aware, no. Because he's faced like Tyler Breeze. He's faced Sean Spears. Like he's facing like major talent, which was it's his trainers. So don't get me wrong. It's not like, not like he's booking these big things, but his trainers have been the ones doing matches with him. So
that's crazy. I didn't know that.
I think so. Someone could fact check me on that. He might have gotten like a tag win or a win against somebody in Deathlock or something. But just excited. I've been watching them forever. I'm so excited to see them in the ring and doing some cool stuff. All right, well, new segment, main event rewind.
Okay, I just want to preface this with I knew nothing about this main event segment, this new segment. So here we go.
Well, you knew what we were going to talk about. I just decided we'd give it a name. So when we go over pay-per-views, we'll call it main event rewind. I would call it the aftermath, but someone smarter than me came up with that, and so I couldn't steal it. So we'll go ahead and start with Crown Jewel because that's what we started the weekend with. Is Crown Jewel. Great news though, this Crown Jewel was in Perth. So instead of overly covered female attires and possibly sex trafficking, we had kangaroos and dingoes. So
koala bears, and all of those pictures of them with those little bears were so cute.
I did get Autumn mad at me because I did say that Dom might have gotten eaten by a dingo because he's just a baby. Which then she thought that meant I didn't like Dom. And I'm like, no, he's a baby. Dingoes eat babies. Thank you very much.
His only win was Breeze.
Of
course it was Breeze.
I didn't realize he beat Breeze. Thank you for the answer there, Stampede. Thank you. I've got too many things flashing on my screen. Sorry, I got my ADD is strong today. So it was held in the RAC Arena in Perth, Australia. It was the first time WWE staged a Crown Jewel event outside of Saudi. We should do that more. That way we could actually enjoy it. The event did not feature any of WWE's regular titles. The only belts on the line were the Crown Jewel belts, which, by the way, looked like a back brace from 1975. I don't understand why they would be so big.
Is fucking huge.
DPW, yep. And love those boys too. I've been watching those Deathlight boys for a while too. CM Pulse is entertaining most of the time.
You got that under control.
Yeah, you got it.
Somebody here needs to be cute, so
ma'am. I've had enough of this from you today. All right, opening match of the night, we had Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed. I picked this wrong. I did not expect Bronson to get this win, mainly because we already had one Aussie that was probably going to win that night, and so I didn't think we were going to have two. But this match spilled out into the crowd. Reed got help from Braun Breaker, and interference from the Usos that played a role in him winning. What did you think of that opening match?
I did not see that opening match.
Oh, you didn't?
I
Okay.
was late to the party.
Okay.
I saw the results, and I don't know where they're going with this. I very much am getting to where I don't care.
It's a story that I think I'll be interested in, but it's the setup of it's strange. Because we have Roman that's mad at both of them. We got Jay who's trying to be Roman. And you got Jimmy who's trying to tell Jay not to be Roman. So I don't know what we're doing here. Next match we had Tiffany Stratton and Stephanie Vaquer. Someone had mentioned their tag team name should be Stiffany, and that's all I can hear now is that it's Stiffany. Yeah, probably. Vaquer won that one. I did kind of expect that. I didn't expect Tiffany to win. I thought we might see a Liv return in this, but that obviously did not happen. But she used a corkscrew moonsault to do the win.
I understand she didn't land on her back. That is a spiral tap.
Fair enough. I do
She
think
landed rough, though.
Yeah, I do think she needs to get a name for that though, because corkscrew moonsault's just kind of plain. We need to get a name for that finisher. But she won it, so she is the women's crown jewel champion for this year. The previous winner was Liv Morgan.
Here's my issue with this.
Okay.
What's the point? What's the point of this title?
I'll tell you when to find out.
The move is beautiful.
Jillian!
Oh shit!
Oh shit! Sorry.
We're getting Dax and Jet Speed in a Saturday tailgate brawl at Wrestle Dream.
Nice. I don't know what the hell that is.
Oh,
Nice.
it's the pre-show. Okay, Saturday tailgate brawl. It's the pre-show that's only on Max.
Yeah.
So they're fighting in they have a match there. Okay, cool.
The moments and the memories. But we're talking about a wrestling match, not high school. It's not the prom.
Look.
I hope that match has some sort of fireworks that are supposed to be big that end up just being fizzled out. That's what I want to see happen. But no, I don't understand it either. It doesn't become a thing until this time of year. And so I don't get what the big deal is. Now, I could kind of see the networks wouldn't like this because the networks think that they should have the A show. But if the winner of that match became the main title and then put on the flagship show, I think, one, it gives stakes of what it is, and two, it freshens up some of the rivalries. Because, like in this case, Stephanie won, so she stays on Raw, right? Let's say if Cody would have won, then Cody comes to Raw, right? Would be kind of my thought.
I would rather they make this, each show has a tournament, a battle royal, something.
Okay.
Do one on Raw, do one on SmackDown, not in the same week. Because if you're doing it battle royal, not in the same week. Or you do it all together. Even if the last 3 people are SmackDown people, the last Raw person left and the last SmackDown person left, they have the match. Whoever wins that is the Crown Jewel champion, and they get a title match of their choosing.
Use it like X Division Plan B.
To an extent, yeah.
You have this, now you have the opportunity, you can cash that in.
Right. It's not Money in the Bank. You have to call your shot.
Yeah.
we're gonna do more than 7 days, so we're not copying Tony with the Dynamite Diamond Ring, stupid or whatever the fuck it is. It's definitely something you could turn into a good thing.
Right.
My bad. Touch something.
You're fine. You got really loud there for a second. So
sorry, I'm trying to fix stuff here. Okay. It's definitely something they could take and turn into a let's do this with it. Or you get a guaranteed I mean, whatever. Call it whatever you want to. I just okay, you get a title shot at either the US or the Intercontinental title. Let's make those titles feel important.
okay.
Then it's not the WrestleMania thing. You're a solid 6 months out from WrestleMania. So sometime before the end of the year,
Mhm.
you have to cash in this title shot for either the Intercontinental or US title. You have to call your shot ahead of time. Like, it's not a you can just show up and cash in. Make it matter. Because right now it's stupid.
I'm gonna take that and spin it. We keep it world title. The match is the next Raw.
Yeah.
You pick the title that night, and on Raw,
your next show, whether it's Raw or SmackDown.
Yeah. Because then at some point you have someone win it on that show, and then now Raw and SmackDown become important because they're winning a title on that show.
Yeah.
All right. Well, enough degrading what they do. Because the next match, John Cena versus AJ Styles, which I don't like the spew that comes out of Triple H's mouth a lot lately. However, him saying that this is a love letter to everything we love about wrestling is 100% true. This was an amazing match. It was not a 5-star banger or anything like that, but just the love letter that this was is exactly what I have felt this entire retirement run needed to be. We do the greatest hits. We go in there and just have a fun match. See John off having fun with the business he spent his last, 20 years doing? Like, goodness. But a long nostalgic match full of comebacks and certain callbacks to their careers. Both AJ calling back things that he did with Christopher Daniels, with Sting, with Bobby Roode, with Joe. We didn't see a Jope spot, which makes me sad because I would love to see a Jope spot from AJ.
A what?
A Jope spot. A Joe Nope spot.
Oh.
23 years. Thank you. Hold on. Look at Lady Alpha.
What are we 23 years for what?
I think Lady Alpha just gave us info. Look at that.
23 years for what?
I'm assuming John Cena, because I was talking about how it's like 20-ish years. I don't disagree, Stampede. The whole like brand supremacy thing, which is basically all it is. Like we moved it from Survivor Series to this, and it's still dumb. Like what's the point if you win? We call you the best person for a month, and then we don't talk about it again until next year. And then it might not even be that person, like it was this year. With the females, neither one of them was in the match last year. But
I just don't like that it's. I feel like the two champion things is, who cares?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I think that's when my problem comes in.
Triple H did not Triple H. Excuse me. Cena did a lot of callbacks to his career too. He did some Punk stuff. I don't think he did the End of Days on this one. I know he did that in his last match. He did the End of Days.
He hit Baron Corbin's End of Days?
Yeah.
I missed that. That's nice.
But he did do possibly my favorite one, which is he did Sister Abigail. which in case anybody doesn't know, so my affinity for this move goes beyond just Bray Wyatt. I've loved this move forever. Every creative character I've ever made, it was the move I used as my finisher because it's such a cool looking move. But he did the Bray Wyatt version, holding him down, kiss to the forehead, pop him back. The reaction from the crowd and then from John after that was amazing because John's just kind of sitting there and he looks around and all the fireflies are going.
I thought he was going to tear up in the ring.
It almost looked like he was going to, and then just like in a moment before he got up, he just looked up at the sky, nodded, and then
smiled.
Got back to it. Yep, he did a tombstone to finish the match, which was interesting.
The choke slam.
Yes.
They called it a Taker choke slam. No, it wasn't. It was the Big Show's choke slam because the first match they had together, when Show choke slammed Cena, he dropped to his knees. He did that for the longest time when he first came in.
I think they called it the Taker one because of the setup. Because
I get that.
AJ was going to do the Can't See Me, and he popped up with the Goozle.
I'm pretty sure Show did that. He did that with Show
Did he
too.
do that too? Okay.
I think so. I wouldn't swear
I'll need to go back and watch that.
But the choke slam itself was the Big Show because he dropped down with it rather than just bending.
Yeah. I'm with you. So Cena wins that one.
That whole match was fucking great.
I didn't call that. I figured AJ would win it, especially because earlier in the night we had an interview with AJ, and AJ said that next year is his last year. He's done. So
Yeah.
Especially after I heard that, I was like, okay, well, we give AJ the win. AJ starts a run and then finishes on a high note. But no, he lost to it. Obviously, he's fine with it. And even though it's in kayfabe or not, the next night on Raw, he specifically said, it's like, it would have been better if I would have won the match, but like John's a legend. So at least I was in there with John. So, that's got to be how he also feels personally. I agree, Stampede. Well, and so here's the thing. I'm actually not even going to say that. If we were going to turn him heel, I'm fine with that. But you put way too much effort and too much praise into two guys that weren't going to be there to be part of that story. I'm okay with John turning heel. John should have used Tripp, or John should have used Stephanie. Like, Stephanie would have been a lot of fun because remember, they had a lot of back and forth back in the day. And the reason Cena is at the prominence he is now is because of him having a thing with Stephanie on the back of the bus where he was just like rapping and she was like, holy shit, can you do that on TV? So like that would have been kind of a good turn of event. I don't disagree. I do think if not one of it, if not at least one of the matches of the night for sure. Just for the nostalgia and the fun, and like there was nonstop through it. The next match was the Kabuki Warriors versus Rhea and Io Sky. I don't think anybody questioned where this one was going to end up because Rhea is in Australia and Vince isn't running the show. So Rhea was probably going to win this match. But all four women had spotlight moments. The match delivered a pretty solid tag team match between the two of them. Some things are a little clunky. And like I hate to say it, but to me that always kind of wraps around Kyrie a little bit. Like, I don't know why, but it's just like there always seems to be some hiccup that I see. She's great in the ring, but I don't know what it is. There's always something kind of clunky to me. And then last but not least, we had Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins, Men's Crown Jewel Championship. I think if Seth didn't win this, it would have been a travesty because that just had to be the way it was. They were building that so well. Hey, Final Boss, welcome in. They were just building that the way it was because all this whole, like, what if I don't win? He's doubting himself. He's already been down every match they've been in. There's the focus on the watch, which a couple of us in the chat, like the day of the pay-per-view said, like, he's going to use that watch. That watch is going to be used. He's going to crack Cody over the head with that. And sure enough, that's what ended up happening. So he cracks him with it, does a super stomp, and then wins the big one, I guess, or the bigger one, the biggest one, the 1972 back brace. But yep. That would be good. And that may happen for the last match. I think that'd be a good call for that. Of like the last match is like, look, I'm gonna call someone out here, and you're gonna show me something. I'm gonna have one last open challenge. He did so. Final boss. I would not be entirely surprised because he did say something in an interview of he thinks the last match should be him and John, and he is who he is. So I would not be entirely surprised if that happened. I do think his last match should be someone younger. I think it should be someone he's going to at least pass the torch to a little bit on his way out. I think lately, especially with Sting, so like Sting kind of proved you can go out falling on the sword and not have to win that last bout. So I think we could do it. Oh, that's right. No, they already announced that it's Gunther. Gunther's the last one.
His
that's
last
right.
match is Gunther?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I forgot that they announced that.
How does that...
So I can tell you, just looking at it on paper, it's because Gunther can now say he retired 2 legends. I don't like it. But
Them
that's
doing this, if they do it with Gunther, if that's what they stick with, you are ruining Cena's final match.
Yeah, because it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be a fun match.
No, it's not going to be a fun match. It's not going to be a good match. And the win does not help or ruin anything.
It was week and a half ago, something like that, Lady Alpha. And they really have, like, yeah, they haven't really said anything about it. So they were just like, hey, this is happening. And then walked away. The retired general. I thought he was just retired.
I hate everything
general.
about this plan. I hate everything about this plan.
I hate it. I don't like it. All right, so that was it for Crown Jewel. Next night we had Bound for Glory. I haven't watched a TNA pay-per-view in a long time, and so it was really fun to sit back and watch this, especially with some of the people that were in it, some familiar faces and some not so familiar faces. We started out the night with the Knockouts tag. It was on the Countdown show.
Oh, okay. I was like, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, the Inspiration retained. So that was a lot of fun for that to happen. We had the TNA International Championship match, Steve Macklin versus Frankie Kazarian. I still don't get Steve Macklin. I don't get it. When I stopped watching, he was around, and he's still there now, and I just still don't get it. I don't understand it. I was sad about it too. We'll get there here in just a second. But Macklin avenged his prior loss to the superstar, to the rock star. Ended up beating him. Nice little moment with his mom flipping off Kazarian. That was kind of cute.
Did you see the person in the hood or mask sitting by his mom? They didn't ever show who it was, but they had a full mask except for the eye cut, and I'm willing to bet it was Deanna.
Could have been.
But because of their agreement with WWE and TNA, they can't show her.
Yeah. Then we got to see Tessa Blanchard versus Gia Miller, which this was an entirely different Gia Miller than we were ever privy to watching in TNA. Her entrance was amazing. She came out there with a girl that I didn't really recognize.
Jody Threat.
Yeah, I caught the name. Still have no idea who that is.
Because we don't watch TNA, that's why I know who she was, just because I've seen Some of the knockout stuff.
Miller in her first sanctioned TNA match showed that she was okay in the ring.
Showed that she was in her first TNA match.
Yeah, she was very green though. Like there was so many things that were just kind of slip ups of those. Yes, he will be. He was featured
wrong,
3
Stampede.
separate times. Absolutely, but yeah, I mean she's very green. Had the best match she could. Look, I'm gonna stop with the Tessa Blanchard stuff for now, because the thing I do got to say is in the ring she did very well, especially with someone so green.
At no point have I ever said Tessa Blanchard wasn't good in the ring.
Right.
She's just a racist piece of shit.
Fair enough.
I'll say it.
And I still think it's weird that we stuck her with Alicia Fox. But
let's put her with the token black lady. Like, are you serious right now? Next, you're gonna have her come out with Devon. What?
You know what I heard today? All right. So I heard today there was a question that was asked on a podcast that I watched. And it was, which one of these people have not been in a Royal Rumble before? And it named a few people that named Devon. And the guy answered, he was like, Devon. Devon's never been in the Royal Rumble. And I went, wait a minute. Devon's never been in a Royal Rumble? And so they're explaining it, and they're like, here's what ended up happening. The time that they were going to have the Dudley Boys in the Rumble, Devon turned it down. And so Bubba came in by himself.
It was Philadelphia.
But hold on. Here's the funny thing is, for the fact that they didn't have Devon, but they wanted to do Dudley spots.
Yeah.
They filled that role with another brother, with R-Truth. So I just went, what's the brother we have around here? Hold on. Truth, come here.
No. What they said was, hey, black guy, come here.
Now, you know Vince used the N-word.
Probably like Booker T did on TV.
Like Vince did on TV. What are you talking about?
That's fair. That's fair. Look, first of all, Stampede, that's funny. Because I was the same way. I didn't know who a bunch of those people were either. But we'll talk about it when we get to it. But
who's this? So, first of all, this is the first time I've seen the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. I like this premise. I like you have a battle royal until you get down to the last 2. That's a cool premise. I like that.
I love it.
I kind of wish WWE would have came up with that first, and that would be what the Rumble was. Do all 30 people, down to the last 2. Those 2 got to fight. But anyway, Car Shot Gauntlet. Whole bunch of people in this match that, yeah, it was kind of a lot of like, who dat? One of the biggest surprises, though, was that Jody Threat was going to come down. She ran around the ring like the Warrior for a minute, and then got cold-cocked by Frankie Kazarian, who then somehow got rewarded to be in the match.
Look, Santino, if you're going to be the director of authority, I need you to direct some fucking authority at Frankie Kazarian. Because this man just assaulted somebody and you gave him a spot?
But then my other question is, so he gave him a spot and then he took the next spot. Did he?
I think he was already supposed to have the next spot.
But that's my question. Is it like, did he take someone's spot? Is he like, you know what, you're going to be in it, so I'm going to be in it?
First of all, is it a dog spot?
My liver spot? My parking spot?
Here's the other thing.
You got my spot.
Love the fact that Santino did the same thing he did in every Royal Rumble he was ever in, which is get in the ring and immediately get knocked out.
And maybe beat his record.
Yes. The fact that he cobra'd Frankie from the outside was even better.
Yeah. But we end up at the end of the match, very poorly received finish. Because it
was terrible.
Ends up being Nick Nemeth and Frankie Kazarian at the end for that match. And then, yeah, there's a double pin with 2 refs. And so that's what we're doing?
John Cena and Batista called. They want their Royal Rumble finish back. Because this is basically the same thing. We've done this so many times.
Well, here's the.
Why?
I don't
when
think
you have two people as talented as Frankie Kazarian and Nick Nemeth, and this is the finish you came with?
so. Talent aside, I don't think this would have been such a bad finish if it wasn't the two people in the ring. Hey, CJ, how you doing?
That's fair. That's
because
fair.
here's the thing,
problem,
we've got
the problem is the people in the ring.
because Nick is a heel right now. So is Kazarian.
Yeah.
If you at least had one face in there, then this probably would have been a better thing. But the fact that they wanted to do this like odd couples, we both have the trophy, we both have a title shot, that whole thing, like they wanted to be two heels. Okay, but nobody liked the finish. So that was kind of sad. Which we'll talk about another finish that nobody liked at the end of this too. We'll get to that though. Next one was the Knockouts World Championship, Indy Hartwell versus Kalani Jordan. Jordan retained via moonsault. The match had decent storytelling intention, but I just couldn't get into the match.
Why are we keeping this title on Kalani? I'm not saying Kalani doesn't deserve a title.
Yeah. Well,
but your women's North America title is just sitting on Sol Ruka's shoulder. Do something with it. Or run her up after the Intercontinental or the U.S. title. Why?
I think we keep it on her, though, because of what happens later in the night, which we'll get to that. But you still got to have that tension of NXT owns one of the TNA titles. Sorry about that. Goody started playing. But yeah, so she got the title. I didn't really think Indy was going to win it. They haven't really put a lot of effort in this storyline.
Except that her whole family came in for this.
Well, yeah. But when have we ever cared about that? We had a hardcore war between Order 4 and the System. This was a violent, chaotic match.
It was fun.
It was a lot of fun. Go ahead, because I think you're going to say what I want to say too. So go ahead.
I messaged you during this because I'm the first to admit, I remember when Alicia Edwards first showed up. Probably 10 years ago. TNA was a big thing. She showed up and I'm like, who the fuck is this bitch who is terrible and why are you putting her in a ring? Okay. I've given Maxine props. I've given a number of other people that when they first started were terrible and ended up being amazing props. Props to Alicia Edwards because she went for it and she went through it.
Mm-hmm.
She took a power bomb or choke slam into thumbtacks.
Mm-hmm. And then laid there.
Not one of the guys.
And waited for 450.
Her.
Yeah.
And then laid there. I will never say a bad word about Alicia Edwards again.
No, it was a good match.
Never ever.
I still don't get Moose. To me, he's like the Steve Backlund thing. I don't get Moose, but he came in. He did show out at the end, so good on him. It was a good match. The System won, so
it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I don't know who that guy is for the System, but he's for Order 1.
A Big Bill Light.
Order 4.
Yeah.
What'd you call him?
Big Bill Light.
Yes.
Medium Bill.
Big-ish Bill.
Venti Bill.
Yeah. He's impressive.
He is. He's a big dude. He's got a look. He's very intimidating. I don't know how well he does in a ring yet, but I do know when he first showed up, though, that was the big thing, is that everybody thought it was Big Bill, and so they freaked out about it. Yeah, it was a hard
100%,
spot.
100% Stampede. I was like, oh my God.
And
this woman just went through it.
And all the weapons weren't pink, so that's a thing too. They did mostly come in with local team sport weapons, which I found those kind of fun.
I didn't hate it though.
No.
The Battle Royal had that hometown guy or whatever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
Hometown hero. I'm assuming that wherever he goes, he changes like the team he's supporting.
Yeah.
Which I think you and I had this conversation at some point.
That's Cody Deaner.
Is it really?
Yeah. Cody Deaner lost his job. And so then hometown guy started showing up.
Gotcha. That's funny.
And that's the gimmick, is every town he's in, he's the hometown guy.
That's funny.
Absolutely love it. It's a lot of fun.
44, 18-year pro? Okay.
Holy crap. He doesn't look 44 years old.
Okay, so this is a completely off topic. Have you kept up with Dancing with the Stars at all?
So a little bit, just for one person only, and that is my
Topanga.
Yeah.
Did you see her dance tonight and who she had there?
I haven't seen it yet. I do know who was there though.
I just saw it, and at the end, part of the cast is in the crowd.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, Mr. Feeney is 98.
The dance is to the Boy Meets World theme song.
Yeah.
So,
I'm here for it too.
Yeah.
The one of the other guys. Oh, it was Steve Irwin's son.
Okay.
At the end of his dance, he finished up with his mom.
Nice.
Which is amazing.
I'm sure that
I don't watch Dancing with the Stars. I just saw her TikTok stuff because she's funny as hell.
Yeah.
She's a huge wrestling fan too, which is great.
Yep, she's Daniel Housen. So.
Yes, I saw that. I do have to say it was nice to see Cardona hit both the stomp and the unpretty her.
Mm-hmm. It is a lot of fun to see him reference his wife's moves. It's a lot of fun. Well, no, not wife yet, right? They're not married yet?
Yeah, they're married. They've been married for a minute.
All right.
I just saw the video of John Cena again. I really think he almost teared. He was about to tear up. He's like, I've got to do something else, or I'm just going to lose it.
I got to do this.
You can tell he was not expecting that reaction.
No.
From the crowd. Like, that completely caught him off guard.
So we spoke earlier about another match that had a finish people didn't like. We had Javon Evans versus Leon Slater. I'm not even going to try to talk about this match because Jesus Christ, both these guys are bouncy. If you have
not watched this match, please go watch it.
Well,
and
match was an A+.
1,000%.
Not only that,
was an F.
But those two in the ring, to me, proved that they are, I don't know about main event ready, but goodness gracious, if they are not quite ready for some sort of higher up spot.
So people keep saying these guys are the future.
Right.
I detest Brian Alvarez with every fiber of my being, except for this one time, because he said these guys aren't the future. These guys are right now.
Yeah.
Because that match, Stampede just said it. It was on its way to making its top 3 because that match was fucking incredible.
It was. It was super amazing. The thing that I love as well is I also have been listening to Nick Nemeth's latest interview with Chris.
I was about to bring that up.
And so he specifically says, he's like, I had a match with Leon. And he was like, and I see him out here, he's doing all this flippy stuff, he's doing all that, and he's like, I'm expecting to have to turn to him to tell him to slow it down. And then I turn around and he's slowing it down. And then I go back and I watch some of his other stuff. And he is so young, he should not be so good at the in-between stuff. But he already is. He was like, he is already so far along and almost perfect at what he's doing. And he's so young in the game already. Imagine how great he's going to be as he fills out his career. So I cannot wait. Yeah, he's definitely the more polished of the two.
Yes.
But them being in the ring together, like, it just brought out the best in Javon. They were amazing. But yeah, the ending to this, first of all, we went to the time limit, which was already kind of weird because I don't think there was like usually they announce it or like something.
Had we just gone time limit, they went 5 more minutes and went time limit again, I wouldn't have liked it, but I would have been okay with it.
Well, my first issue with it being time limit though is that usually if there's a time limit, first of all, we make it a big deal. Second of all,
Yeah.
when we're like 5 minutes left in the match, usually they do the announcement of 5 minutes left in the match. Nothing. Just all of a sudden, bell rung, we were done. Okay.
And that's fair.
So then Santino comes out, says, I think we need 5 more minutes. We get 5 more minutes. We don't go 5 more minutes because then Dark State comes down and beats them both down. What the shit?
Like I said, had we just gone time limit, I'd have been like, nah, you need to run that back. But I'd have been okay with running it back somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like Halloween Havoc or even a bigger show.
Yeah. Do an
Not that
NXT.
Bound for Glory
Do
is not a big show.
Yeah.
But just say, okay, you know what? This one we went time limit. Honestly, I'd go time limit a second time. The third time, be an hour Iron Man and let them just beat the shit out of each other for an hour. And somebody get a last minute roll up win, pull one out of their ass, because you could give me a best of 7 of this and I'm here for it every time.
Yeah.
You could give me this the next 7 shows and I'm here for it.
Well, and so to your point, and I think Stampede basically just agreed with you there, like if this would have been a draw to build something else, that'd have been great. That's fine. It's all 3 of these things put together. It's the time limit not meaning anything until it did. It's adding 5 more minutes and then not finishing the 5 minutes because they get beat down by Dark State. If we would have went time limit, made it a deal, do the whole like 5 minutes left, whatever, we get 5 more minutes. You go 5 more minutes, draw again, or one of them pulls out a win. I don't care which. That 5 minutes ends. And then bring out Dark State. What was the point of Dark State ruining this match? There has to be some reason why they came out there for that. And I don't see a reason. But that's just...
I'm with you. I definitely felt like it. Like Stampede said, it would have been a top 3 till they fucked it up.
Yeah. Next match was the last table. The Hardys versus the Dudleys. The fans, I agree with you. So watching that match, the fans did not get into it. I will say I was into it, but that I think that's because that was
to an extent.
Yeah.
Like, of course, there's some nostalgia. The only thing missing is Edge and Christian.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. 3 people should have retired there, and Jeff Hardy should have found a new partner. Or have them all 4 hang it up right there, vacate those titles, and let's put them on somebody that can actually, stay up past 10 p.m.
I mean, obviously, I do think there's things that could have changed. I loved the feel-good moment of Spike being out there. I think that would have made...
out there?
So Spike was... So the Dudleys come out. They get to that corner part where you're about to turn to go to the ring.
Yeah.
And then they go like this, and Spike comes out. And then they just kind of...
I guess I missed that.
They just kind of hug, they pose, and then Spike goes back. To me, have him come out and do something in the match. Dudleys are down for some reason. Have him come out, help them turn the tide. It doesn't mean Dudleys have to win, but just if you're gonna bring Spike in for something, bring him in. Don't just do a glorified high.
Interrupt this for a second.
Yeah.
Lady Alpha just posted it. They hit 100 followers.
Awesome.
Shout out to them. Her and Autumn are amazing. Their show is a blast, especially today. God,
no,
so
normally it's a blast. Today it was a blur.
At least for Autumn.
Yes.
I'm not taking away from the fact that Lady Alpha was drinking too, but Autumn was blitzed when I came back at like 5:45, and they went another 45 minutes.
Autumn was gone, and that was all Big Mike's fault.
Yeah, I know.
So we can blame him for that. But it was a decent match for what it was. The saddest part of it is at the end. You almost kind of had an "I'm sorry, I love you" moment. Devon's on the outside. Bubba turns around from holding the table, looks them in the eye. There you go. He turns around. He sees both of them holding chairs, both the Hardys. He just kind of nods his head. They put the chairs down. They choke slam him through the table to finish the match. After the match, they hug. They celebrate. Hardys are about to leave and give Dudley's the ring. Dudley's grab them on the shoulders, turn them back around, and they start unlacing their boots. Now, from everything I have seen, Hardys did not know they were going to do that.
That doesn't surprise me. I wouldn't have told him ahead of time.
And so,
because they'd have been like, "Nah, we're not doing that right now."
Yeah. So they both unlace both boots, take their boots off. They hand them to their opponents. Later that night, there was mentioning that they said in an interview that they're done. The Dudleys are officially retired. Which, good on them. If that's what this was for, was to get them that last hurrah, then I think it's good. I was more confused that Autumn was wearing glasses and said she was wearing old contacts. But she was also drunk, so I'm gonna let that go.
Sure, Autumn said a lot of things.
And then the main event of the night, Santana faced Trick Williams. Trick and A is over.
Thank God.
2 months too late. Santana should have got this title a long time ago. But definitely, Santana got the title. It was a very emotionally compelling main event. Specifically, like at the end, because apparently there was a story that Santana had told that when Santana was at his worst, in addiction and all that, it was his kid writing a note to Santa saying all she wanted for Christmas was for Daddy to stop.
Yep.
And so that got him to turn his life around, got big into the wrestling scene, and that's where he is today.
Crazy thing to hear.
Yeah. So he brings his daughter in, hands her the belt, bows down to her. I was emotionally moved by it, which is why I had to make a joke, because that's just how I work. Which my main joke was the last person that brought his kid in the ring, he'd become the third string member of a family in another company. So one of Josh Alexander's last match, he brought his kid in the ring.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Stampede.
Yeah. Absolutely. But it was, for the fact, aside from the fact that there were some people that did leave because they were just there for that, it was a strong main event. It did have some weaker points in the undercard and like having some odd endings that people didn't like. But TNA showed up. It was a good night. They said a number. Chris Bay came out and said how many people were there. There's a lot of question about that number of whether it's legit or not, but that's every other company that says numbers. So,
first of all, it's crazy to me that 7,000 people is their North America attendance record. What?
Yep.
That's a crazy fact to me that they've been around as long as they have, and 7K, 7,700 or whatever it was, is their max. Like,
so I understand that a lot of people talk about the rhetoric of like they could be number 2 and da 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 da. Back in the day, if TNA would have had the resources that they needed to have, I do think there would have been a square number 2 back then. I think if we had some time and resources right now, they could have been number 2.
But
right now, they're not going to.
You don't have a billionaire. I mean,
right. But they do have a great show.
They do.
And so
they're
just
23 years in.
Yeah.
You're telling me at no point in this 23 years with the rosters they have had that they've never had more than 7,000,
Nope.
8,000 people?
Because they are pro wrestling's best kept secret.
That's just crazy to me, though.
There are things that still to this day when I talk about TNA to people that haven't been around a lot. Yes.
We'll get to Takeshita. I have not forgotten.
Yep.
But well done, Lady Alpha. That's well played.
Well played, it certainly. Which their biggest event that they showed me that they have a chance to be at number 2. I don't disagree. I don't think they're at a place right now to be number 2. But my point of what I was saying to that is they've always been the underdog that nobody talks about. They've always been the underground promotion that people don't think about. When I talk about, like, well, did you realize, like, the first black TNA NWA champion was R-Truth? And people go, what? Yeah. Did you realize our first world champion, which we just talked about it in Lady Alpha and Autumn's podcast, the Wrestling Divas podcast, Ken Shamrock, or no, sorry, that was a different thing I was watching. But still, Ken Shamrock was their first world champion.
What?
But people don't remember that because it was
Ken
such a
Shamrock was their first world champion?
their first world champion. And so people don't know this stuff because they were so underground, and people, like, you had to pay on Wednesdays to watch them. And even when they got
right, it was like $9.99 on Wednesdays.
Yeah. Which I did. Like, I paid for it. I wanted to see it. People don't realize that the New Age Outlaws were there for a hot minute. The Outsiders were both there for a hot minute. And that was before the Hulk Hogan days of him coming in and running it, ruining it, whatever you want to say, with him and Eric Bischoff. It was before the Dixie Carter days. Nobody really talked about TNA. It was a dirty word, especially once we got to the Anthem days and the Global Force days and all of that. Look, I'm not going to argue with you on that. Absolutely. I mean, they don't have any of the resources to do what they need to do to be a higher level right now.
From June of 2002 when they started to September of 2004, they were on the weekly pay-per-view schedule at the Tennessee State Fairgrounds Sports Arena in Nashville, nicknamed the Asylum, TNA Asylum.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep. And if you look at some of the names that went through there, like, it's a who's who of people that went through there to who they are today. You know, we had originators like Christopher Daniels, like James Storm, like AJ Styles, like Samoa Joe. You have these names that are massive names today that came from that grassroots area that if they had resources that they needed at the time, they could have been a bigger deal. But they just didn't have it. Whether it be because who was running it at the time, because half the time you had Jerry Jarrett running it, which he wasn't very smart about New Age wrestling, and then you had Jeff Jarrett, who made it all about himself, and then you had Dixie Carter, who didn't know really anything about wrestling, but wanted to do it. Hogan and
Dixie may not have known anything about wrestling, but that woman had the passion for it.
She did.
She was a terrible on-screen character.
Yeah. And I think she just got too many people in her ear. I think, and kind of like the Goldberg effect, right? Like, Goldberg probably could have been better than he was if he didn't have all those people in his ear. Same thing with the Giant. Big Show probably could have been a bigger deal in WCW if he didn't have all those people in his ear telling him the wrong things to do. But, you know, and then Eric Bischoff and Hogan coming in, running the company, doing that for a while, going back to Jeff Jarrett, him trying to switch it to Global Force Wrestling, which failed miserably. Anthem taking over, which is almost like the AOL Turner deal of they didn't really seem to want wrestling, and they just kind of acquired it. And so it didn't really become a big deal there either. We finally get it changed back to TNA, and then they changed the management structure. And so, you know, Scott D'Amore ends up going and doing MLW instead. And so now we got this merger with WWE. they've always kind of been like that. How are you still here? How are you
Right.
still a company?
Right.
But
So I just pulled up their roster from 2002.
Mhm.
This is like a who's who of people
Mhm.
that became huge names. Abyss, AJ, Mickey, Amazing Red, which we all know what he's done for the business.
Mhm.
Uh, Animal from the Road Warriors, just Animal. Um,
I think Hawk had passed by that point.
Road Dog, Brian Christopher, Brian Lawler, Brian Lee, Chris Harris, Wildcat Chris Harris, Christopher Daniels, CM Punk,
Mhm.
Crowbar from WCW, Kurt Hennig, David Flair, Easy Money. Isn't that the dude from ECW?
Easy Money?
Yeah.
No, I think I may be getting some things mixed up in my head. I was thinking Easy Money might be guy from White Chicks.
Okay. Electra, Elix Skipper, James Mitchell, Francine, Disco Inferno, Disco Inferno, fuck that guy.
He did come from
James Storm.
WCW, but I don't think it's who you're thinking, because he was
Okay.
in WCW under the name Jason Jett.
Jay Briscoe, Jerry Lynn, Jimmy Rave,
Mhm.
Jimmy Wang, Jimmy Yang, Ken Shamrock, Kid Cash, Lenny, Low-Key, Mark Briscoe, Monty Brown. God, Monty Brown. Loved that guy. Norman Smiley, Paul Bearer, Rick Steiner, R-Truth, Sabu, Scott Armstrong, Scott Hall, Shark Boy, X-Pac.
Mhm.
Like, this was a who's who of decent sized names at the time.
Well, and I don't know if it's not written there or if you skipped over because we didn't recognize the name. Um, I don't. Her name started with an L there, but Mickey James, if it was around the time CM Punk was there, Mickey James is also there.
Alexis something
Yeah.
was her name there. I just called her Mickey James.
But yeah, it absolute who's who of people that were there. Um, I mean, it definitely could have been a different story written if they would have had better management of the company back then. But
Yeah.
TNA was very much like, as far as the environment, from my understanding, was ECW light. The people that worked there loved working there, and so they kind of dealt with some of the crap because they loved the company and believed in it so much.
Yeah.
Um, but but anyway, all right. Well, we are now doing time for the hot tag. So this time we're tagging in Vinny and Angela from Suds News. They are your go-to duo for all things daytime drama. They're recapping all the heartbreaks and the hookups and the jaw-dropping twists that keep us glued to the screen during daytime television. So we're going to show a clip from it. Go ahead and grab your tissues and grab your tea, because this is Suds News.
We were talking before we before we went live, about the upcoming week's teaser trailer that GH puts out, and holy cow, it looks explosive.
Oh, yes. Did you watch today?
I did, yes.
Okay. Yeah, it does. There's lots of good stuff. So much good stuff this week. And
Yes.
I have a feeling that it's going to be all gas, no brakes from here through November sweeps.
So that right there was Suds News with Vinny and Angela. Definitely go back and watch them. All their links to their stuff is in our Gimmick Table link tree, which is in our bio, and also in the description of all these videos. So be sure to go there and watch that. Tori just stepped away for a second. She asked me if she had a minute, and apparently that was a lot shorter clip than I thought it was going to be. So she'll be back here shortly. I I feel like I need to go, you know what I mean, after she said all gas, no brakes. But anyway, so they are, to give you the basic idea of them, they are a soap opera podcast. They talk about daytime TV and soap operas, which essentially is what wrestling is. Like, wrestling is the male soap opera. So it's just like a soap opera with men in their underwear. Did you ever watch soap operas? Did you ever get into that?
Nope.
Why do I have to be the gay straight man, even on our own podcast? I did. Days of Our Lives, and specifically Passions. Passions was my go-to. That was a crazy one because there was a little person, a hornswoggle, trying not to get us canceled, who played like a demonic doll that had magic powers, and so it was almost like Charmed meets daytime TV. It was kind of a fun watch. Still going today, last I saw, so I mean, definitely something you can watch in there. There you go. Stampede also watched some. Santa Barbara, Another World, and Passions.
I didn't watch them. I knew about them somewhat because I worked at like, DirecTV, Dish. Like,
Yeah.
I knew somewhat, but I didn't watch them specifically.
I wasn't, when I was younger, I wasn't a big Days of Our Lives fan. I ended up watching that more because after I got married, her grandma had came from New York to stay for a little while, and her grandma was very much like, she could have been in the family, as far as I know, because she was very, very New York and very scary, and she was like 4'7". I hate crock pot meals. I ate crock pot meals for a week because that's all she cooked, and I liked it. Even if I didn't. Yes, the vertically challenged character was on Passions. That was my favorite part of it, is that there was a little demonic doll dude there. A lot of fun. All right. Lady Alpha used to watch Young and the Restless, Santa Barbara, As the World Turns, and Guiding Light. So I ended up watching Days of Our Lives because she couldn't find where it was here. And so I found it for her because I'm like that sometimes, being able to find things. We know this. And so I found a feed of it at 3 o'clock in the morning that I would record and play it on the computer. And so since she didn't know how to use a computer, I'd have to sit with her at the computer and watch this show until it was done. And it wasn't terrible. It was okay.
No, I was not laughing at what you were saying.
Is Degrassi really a, like, I don't consider Degrassi a soap opera.
It wasn't.
Are you laughing at something you can share, or is that we need to talk after this?
No, I can.
Okay.
Kyle Fletcher was interviewed, I guess, after his match with Kyle, or not Kyle. Kyle O'Reilly was interviewed after his match with Kyle Fletcher.
Kyle.
He said, "I got out Kyled, big whoop. You live by the Kyle, you die by the Kyle. Doesn't make me any less Kyle."
These
is this
two
the new
Kyles.
Ken? Is that what this is? We Kyle people?
Yeah.
That shit was so funny.
My favorite was These Two Kyles. These two Kyles. I love fans. Fans are great sometimes. I mean, yeah. Isn't that the one that Jay and Silent Bob were on, though? Like, once you put them on a show, I don't think you can call it a soap opera anymore.
I'm sorry. Jay and Silent Bob were on Degrassi?
I think it was Degrassi.
There's no way. No. Please tell me no.
Hold on. Do. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. Nope, that's what I'm looking for. This Kevin Smith's a huge Degrassi fan, so it's still leaning in my favor here.
Holy shit, they were
Yeah,
6 episodes, and then
yep.
they were in the Degrassi Goes Hollywood movie.
Yep.
What the fuck? I'm sorry, you said 2 guys standing on a street corner talking about jungle love, and you what?
$15, little man. Put that shit in my hand.
Do you have any idea how much that shit runs through my head when I hear somebody say $15?
I know. You were thinking BMX Bandits? What? Now I'm confused. I'm gonna need you to explain that one to me. Anyway, all right. We'll go ahead and go into the last pop and close this thing out for the night. It's been fun. I'm exhausted. Remember, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and it's a powerful reminder that courage, hope, and community is very important. The fight doesn't just happen in the ring. It happens in hospitals. It happens in homes. It happens in our hearts every single day. Let's stand in solidarity with the warriors, survivors, and the families affected by this horrible thing. Keep the conversation going and never stop fighting for a cure. You can catch us on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, Blue Sky. You can sign up for the Kicking Out 2 Discord, which has recently been rebranded to the Gimmick Table Media Discord. There are going to be some changes coming up to it. I'm going to give every show its own channel that they can do some fun stuff on. But the main thing I want to make sure everybody here hears and everybody shares is that if you have trouble watching certain shows, we have watch-along channels where we will watch shows that might be kind of hard to watch. So, you have a hard time getting to it because you're not a real fan and don't have a VPN
Never mind. I'm with you. I was like, what?
Or something like that. Come over to the Discord. We'll watch it with you. Anyway, in the meantime, and in between time, we will catch you on the next one. Bye, everybody.
Here's the cover. Can he do it? Kick out at 2. We stand together with pride. We're